Phantom Blade Zero is an action-packed, fast-paced hack-and-slash RPG developed by S-Game. Set in a Kung Fu Punk world, the game blends Chinese martial arts, steampunk elements, and occult themes. Players take on the role of an assassin named Soul, who has 66 days to live after receiving a temporary cure from a mysterious healer. The game features semi-open world exploration with intense combat, including cinematic battles against formidable bosses. Will Follow the Light is a first-person narrative adventure set in the harsh northern seas, developed by Tomorrowhead Studio. Players will assume the role of Will, a sailor venturing through stormy waters and rugged Nordic shores in search of his missing son. The game blends realistic nautical navigation with emotional storytelling, exploring themes of family and survival.
Talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Reanimal is an upcoming co-op horror adventure game developed by Tarsier Studios, the creators of Little Nightmares. The game follows a pair of siblings as they try to rescue their friends and escape a horrifying island filled with mutated creatures. The game offers both solo and cooperative play, allowing players to explore by boat and on foot while solving environmental puzzles. Like Little Nightmares, Reanimal utilizes a dynamic side-scrolling format, but it introduces a more terrifying experience with eerie, atmospheric visuals and tense gameplay.
Dead.
Retrieval is a survival horror game set in a distant sci-fi world, developed by 333 Studios using Unreal Engine 5. Players step into the shoes of Hana Loesch, the commander of a research team stationed on an alien planet far from Earth. The game focuses on exploration and survival, with players having to navigate through mysterious environments filled with abominations and unknown threats. The game features stunning visuals, enhanced by NVIDIA's RTX technology, promising an immersive horror experience filled with unexpected twists and deep character development.
Don't know when something should be left alone.
There's nothing we can do. There is no end.
The Spirit of the Samurai is a 2D side-scrolling action-adventure game developed by Digital Mind. Set in feudal Japan, the game follows a samurai named Takeshi, who must defend his village from an onslaught of demonic creatures led by an Oni. The game uniquely blends Japanese folklore with a stop-motion animation style, offering a visually striking and atmospheric experience. Players control 3 characters, Takeshi, a Kodama, and a warrior cat named Chisai, each with unique abilities for combat and exploration. Naraka Bladepoint recently launched a collaboration with Tomb Raider, bringing an exclusive Lara Croft-inspired outfit to the game's character Matari. This crossover event, which started on August 28th, 2024, allows players to equip Matari with Lara's iconic gear, including her compound bow and climbing axe, as weapon skins. The event captures the adventurous spirit of both Lara and Matari, blending Eastern and Western themes. RC Raiders is a cooperative third-person PvP survival shooter set in a futuristic post-apocalyptic Earth. Players take on the role of raiders, scavenging resources from the surface while battling Eric, a mysterious mechanized threat. The game features tactical combat, where players must use both weapons and gadgets strategically, and emphasizes teamwork to survive against arc machines and competing players.
Home. Our bastion of resistance. This is where the brave meets the bold. We will not die in the shadows. We will face our fears head on.
The giant just left orbit, coming in damn hot.
Shut.
Got to Clair Obscur Expedition. 33 is an upcoming turn-based RPG developed by Sandfall Interactive, set in a dark and surreal world inspired by the Belle Epoque period in France. Players lead a group of characters, including Gustave and Maëlle, on a mission to stop the Paintress, an entity who annually marks an age, causing everyone of that age to disappear. The game blends classic turn-based mechanics with real-time actions, allowing players to parry, dodge, and enhance attacks during combat.
Every year she paints again. And every year, an expedition departs for the continent with one hopeless mission. Destroy the Paintress so she can never paint death again. We'll break the cycle so she can't steal anyone else's future.
This world is full of wonders.
Yet everywhere we go, we walk with death.
Do you mean we're the only ones left?
Gothic Remake is an upcoming reimagining of the classic 2001 action RPG, developed by Alchemia Interactive and published by THQ Nordic. The game is set in the Valley of Mines, a dangerous prison colony where players must navigate factions, fight for survival, and make choices that impact the story. Built with Unreal Engine 5, the remake promises improved visuals, detailed environments, and modernized combat.
Welcome to the Valley of Mines, an immense penal colony. For the war against the Orcs, the only undefeated enemies of the Kingdom of Murtana, the king needed ore to supply his armies. So every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Khorinis. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out his best magicians to create a magical barrier around the entire valley. But something disturbed the creation of the barrier, trapping everyone inside. The convicts
Empire of the Ants is an upcoming real-time strategy game developed by Tower 5 and published by Microids. Based on Bernard Werber's famous novel, the game transports players into a photorealistic world created using Unreal Engine 5. Set in the heart of a French forest, players assume the role of an ant, tasked with guiding their colony toward a prosperous future. The game emphasizes strategy, combat, exploration, and alliances with other wildlife, all while following a narrative that changes with the seasons and time of day.
Empire of the Ants. Play as 103683, an inquisitive ant in a world of unsuspected dangers. Your mission? Defend your colony against rival kingdoms and expand the borders of our Queen's empire beyond known lands. But remember, the strength of your people lies in unity and strategy. In this exciting strategy game, every decision counts. Research technologies, train the right legions, and choose which one to send into battle first. New threat is on the way. Gather your forces, plan your strategies, and defy the dangers that
Black State is an upcoming single-player, story-driven, third-person action-adventure game developed by Motion Blur. The game blends stealth elements and tactical combat, drawing inspiration from titles like Metal Gear Solid and Portal. Players assume the role of a former military legend, tasked with rescuing captives and uncovering a mysterious cataclysmic event. One of the game's standout mechanics involves using real-time doors that lead to unpredictable locations, making exploration thrilling and dangerous.
Right here!
Soulframe is an upcoming free-to-play MMORPG developed by Digital Extremes, the creators of Warframe. The game is set in a high fantasy world, heavily inspired by nature and themes of restoration. Unlike Warframe's fast-paced shooting mechanics, Soulframe focuses on slower, melee-based combat, where dodging, parrying, and strategic decision-making play a crucial role. The gameplay features procedural dungeons and exploration-based challenges, with abilities allowing players to control elements like fire and earth.
Or yield to it. Once you've learned, that is a choice only you can make. Don't you forget it. Even if they find you.
Avowed is a first-person fantasy action RPG developed by Obsidian Entertainment, set in the world of Pillars of Eternity. The game follows an envoy sent by the Aeater Empire to investigate a mysterious plague in the Living Lands, a vast and diverse environment filled with unique ecosystems and hostile forces. Players can expect a blend of melee, magic, and ranged combat, offering the ability to customize playstyles using swords, spells, guns, and shields.
People don't like you very much, do they? Sent here to the Living Lands by an emperor who couldn't bother to come himself.
Monster Hunter Wilds is the next major installment in the Monster Hunter series, developed by Capcom. Announced at the Game Awards 2023, it is set to launch in 2025. Monster Hunter Wilds takes place in vast open environments filled with dynamic weather effects such as sandstorms and electrical storms, pushing the boundaries of environmental interaction in the series. Silent Hill 2 Remake is a modern reimagining of the classic 2001 survival horror game, developed by Bloober Team and published by Konami. The game stays faithful to the original story, where James Sunderland returns to Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his deceased wife, Mary. The fog-covered town is brought to life with Unreal Engine 5, featuring cutting-edge graphics, ray tracing, and a new third-person perspective, replacing the original's semi-fixed camera.
I'll be good, I promise. Tell him I'll be good, please.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I was just...
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for Silent Hill.
I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it.
Is it dangerous?
Maybe.
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not.
Exoborne is a tactical open-world extraction shooter developed by Shark Mob and published by Level Infinite. Set in a post-apocalyptic US devastated by extreme forces of nature, players take on the role of reborn survivors equipped with exorigs, advanced suits that enhance movement and provide powerful abilities. The game emphasizes verticality in exploration and combat, allowing players to navigate the chaotic world through grappling, climbing, and intense firefights in dynamic environments affected by natural disasters like tornadoes. Casting of Frankstone is a cinematic horror game developed by Supermassive Games, set in the Dead by Daylight universe. The story centers around a group of young friends in the town of Cedar Hills, haunted by the legacy of Frankstone, a violent and mysterious figure. The game offers a blend of storytelling, exploration, and decision-based gameplay similar to Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures anthology. Players must navigate branching narratives, solve puzzles, and face quick-time events as they uncover the town's dark secrets.
While Dead by Daylight's character roster is swelled to include a who's who of nightmare-haunting horror icons like Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and even walking internet memes like Nicolas Cage, the casting of Frankstone features an entirely original cast of villains and potential victims. This is very much to its detriment, since barely any of them leave much in the way of a lasting impression.
It wasn't like too much?
No way!
Main monster Frank Stone certainly strikes an imposing figure in
Indiana
the story.
Jones and the Great Circle is an upcoming first-person, single-player adventure game developed by Machine Games, set in 1937, between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. The game focuses on Indiana Jones as he travels across iconic global locations like the Vatican, Egypt, and sunken temples in search of the secrets of the Great Circle, an ancient mystery tied to immense power. Players will engage in exploration, puzzle solving, and action-packed combat, utilizing Indy's trademark whip for both traversal and combat.
If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you'd get a perfectly aligned circle.
The Great Circle.
Exactly.
I intercepted the Morse code coming from the Himalayas.
Our boss is sending all of his men.
Is that a...
Battleship? Yep. Let's get a closer look.
Gotta find the stone and get off this ship.
What's that in his hands?
No More Room in Hell 2 is an intense co-op zombie survival game developed by Torn Banner Studios, known for its permadeath mechanic and 8-player team-based gameplay. Players are scattered across a massive urban map in rural Pennsylvania and must work together to survive, scavenging for supplies while fending off hordes of zombies. The game offers no respawns. Once a player dies, they are out for the rest of the round, adding tension to every decision. Crimson Desert is an upcoming open-world action RPG set in the medieval fantasy realm of Pywall. Initially conceived as a prequel to Black Desert Online, the game has since evolved into its own standalone story. Players will take on the role of Cliff McDuff, a mercenary navigating a world divided by power struggles and civil unrest after the fall of a key ruler. The game features both medieval combat and magical elements, including mythical creatures and mysterious worlds accessible through magical gates. Karma the Dark World is a psychological horror game set in dystopian East Germany in 1984. Developed by Pollard Studio and published by Wired Productions, the game immerses players in a chilling cinematic experience where they take on the role of a Rome agent, working for the Leviathan Corporation. As the player, you dive into the memories of others to uncover secrets and solve complex puzzles, all while exploring a world filled with eerie environments and disturbing psychological elements.
How about getting to know you? You don't have to recall everything all at once.
Who are you?
I'll
What
help
do you want with me? What is that? Ah!
There, it's all right. You must have been here at some point in time, somewhere in the depths of your memory. But Leviathan has altered your brain. These broken images must have made you feel confused at times.
No. Stop! What are you doing?
I'm going to bring you back.
The first Berserker Khazan is an upcoming action RPG. Developed by Neopol and published by Nexon. The game is set in the Dungeon Fighter Online universe and follows Khazan, a legendary general falsely accused of treason and exiled. Players will control Khazan on his quest for vengeance against those who wronged him, engaging in intense hack-and-slash combat, enhanced by various weapon and armor combinations. The game features a mix of anime-inspired art and dark fantasy elements, with a focus on brutal, fast-paced action. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the highly anticipated sequel to the original medieval RPG set in 15th century Bohemia. Players will once again control Henry of Skalitz as he navigates a world filled with betrayal, revenge, and political intrigue. The game is set in a massive open world, twice the size of the first installment, featuring lush forests, bustling cities, and war-torn battlefields. The gameplay will retain the series' signature of first-person combat and deep RPG mechanics, including real-time battles with a variety of medieval weapons. Spine is a cinematic action game developed by Neki, set in a dystopian cyberpunk world where players take on the role of Redline, a rebellious street artist. She fights against an authoritarian AI regime with the help of her sentient combat implant, Spine. The game is built around gun-few mechanics, combining fast-paced gunplay with melee combat, all presented through stunning cinematic sequences. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the game promises fluid animations and high-quality visuals, with intense stylized battles that resemble action movies.
I never asked for this.
Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 is a highly anticipated third-person action game developed by Saber Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. In this sequel, players take on the role of Space Marine Lieutenant Titus, now voiced by Clive Standen. The game continues the brutal war against the Tyranid hordes, as players wield a variety of devastating weapons like the iconic Chainsword and Thunderhammer. Combat is fast-paced and intense, blending ranged and melee attacks without the use of a traditional cover system.
Swarm is climbing! Boots of that bastard!
I'm executing the Emperor's will, arm to arm with his finest.
Holds the advantage.
Engage on our terms only.